Do you really believe that after mastering countless scientific theories and understanding profound philosophies, you'll finally be able to handle negative emotions with ease? Of course not. You may know everything, you may understand it all, but the moment emotions strike, it all collapses. And then what happens? You drown in regret, you beat yourself up, you blame yourself endlessly for not being able to control it. Tell me, does this sound familiar? But why is it like this? Why can't we handle emotions even though we've read all the books, heard all the speeches, and memorized all the theories? The truth is simple because we don't understand the true nature of emotions. Emotions are not tamed by logic. They are not subdued by theories. They are energy, invisible streams of energy, energy shaped by your karma, by your long-formed habits, by the deep grooves of your mind. And once this energy takes over, it drives your thoughts, it pushes your actions, it controls your body. It makes you do things you'll regret. It makes you create bad consequences over and over again. Why does this happen? Because you haven't seen the true nature of emotions. The essence of emotions is this: they are the accumulated result of your karma, or what we can call your social inertia. They influence you, drive you, and control you, all through your thoughts. But those thoughts are only movements of invisible energy within your body. Never underestimate this energy. For ordinary people, it's nearly impossible not to be influenced or controlled by it. Yet we've made a fundamental mistake. We keep trying to fight against this energy, trying to suppress or destroy it. And the weapons we use: theories, logic, motivational slogans, comforting words. But how can logic or theory possibly manage energy? That doesn't even make sense. You're not a magician who can chant a spell and command the winds. So what should we do instead? We must shift our mindset from fighting emotions to detaching from them. It's like a flood, or a storm, or a typhoon. Can you fight those? Of course not. You recognize them, you see them coming, and you protect yourself. You don't run into them head first. That's how we should deal with emotions. Don't fool yourself by thinking that reading a few books or listening to some speeches will make you a master who can control emotions with pure reasoning. That is your brain lying to you. At best, you suppress a tiny piece of scattered emotion for a while, but the longer you suppress it, the more it piles up inside you, until one day a spark ignites it all, and it explodes. Then you discover that your rational mind is useless. Theories, logic, understanding, all fail in the face of raw energy. That's why even the calmest, quietest person can suddenly explode one day, shocking everyone around them. So if we cannot fight emotions, what should we do instead? The answer is simple: practice. Real practice cultivates focus, awareness, and inner steadiness. Only when you have these can you maintain a connection with your true self and with the present moment. This is your true anchor, your protection. At that point, you will finally be awake, finally be you. You will be able to clearly watch thoughts and emotions flowing like a river in front of you, without being swept away. As the old saying goes, let the storm rage, the mountain breeze stays calm. Let the river surge, the moon still shines. When you reach that level, you can even use emotions as tools, directing them freely, without being harmed. But without awareness, without practice, most people live like robots. They are controlled by emotions, thoughts, and habits, endlessly tossed around by karma. They suffer under anxiety, depression, fear, anger, unable to break free. Some go to therapists, try hypnosis, take medications, but often it doesn't solve the root problem because they are still focused on analyzing, revisiting, and clinging to their pain. But the more you analyze, the more you cling, the deeper you sink. It's like staring at a pit you fell into, asking why it's here, why you fell in, and how painful it feels, while forgetting that the real question is, how do I climb out? Tracing everything back to childhood trauma or family history may seem like finding the root cause, but in reality, it often changes nothing, because habits and karmic patterns are already deeply formed. So what's the real solution? Stop clinging to the past. Don't waste energy analyzing why you are this way. Don't fight your emotions head on. Instead, change your relationship with them. You can't eliminate emotions. but you can observe them, detach from them, and refuse to be driven by them. This is the starting point of true practice. You must cultivate focus, awareness, and inner steadiness. With focus, you regain awareness. With awareness, you regain clarity. With steadiness, you remain unmoved in the face of storms. Then you step into a state of true freedom. Your emotions no longer enslave you. Your karma no longer blinds you. You can finally live with clear awareness, making conscious choices instead of being pushed around by hidden forces. That is how you break free. That is how you change your destiny. And yes, this requires practice, quieting yourself, returning from wandering thoughts back to the present moment, back to the sensations of your body. This is always the first step, returning to the now. There are many simple ways: mindful breathing, sitting in silence, standing meditation, observing an object, chanting, even mindful running. All of these, when practiced consistently, help you break free from old patterns and take back your inner power. Through practice, you can reclaim your independent will and slowly transform into a brighter, freer version of yourself. This is the real cure. This is the real freedom. When you refine your awareness and brighten your inner clarity, guided by conscience, you will live more consciously. At that point, everything you do becomes true alignment of knowledge and action. You awaken from the puppet life of being driven by karma, and you begin planting seeds of good causes instead of bad ones. Here, we must explain something important: the flesh person. This refers not just to our physical body, but to the conditions self-shaped by society, education, relationships, and family. It is the self that lives in fixed patterns, controlled by karma and habits, reacting mechanically without awareness. True practice is awakening from being only a flesh person into becoming the conscious self, the one who observes, chooses, and lives freely. As past karma gradually fades away, negative emotions lessen, peace deepens, and your heart becomes calmer. Those around you will notice you'll seem like a new person. That is real transformation. That is changing fate. Remember, true practice begins with quieting down, pulling yourself back from scattered thoughts and emotions, returning your attention to your body, to the present. That is always the first step. And once you take that first step, you will slowly recover the focus you have lost.